Okay, everybody, follow my lead.
This is like kicking the dick. This is like the episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast on digital-delirium.com. Welcome to episode 41 of our podcast, and this week we have once again D-Pad. Say hello to the folks, D-Pad, because you missed a couple weeks. I probably miss you.
I miss you guys too.
He's eating gummy worms.
I miss you too. And it's great to be back. Seriously, I'm
He's eating gummy worms.
My face is full of candy. I'm sorry. This is just such a beautiful moment. I love you guys.
This is sensational.
It is sensational.
The podcasting public misses their daily, their weekly, whatever week dose of D-Pad.
I love you guys. Here's game food.
Yeah, say hello to the people game face.
Hey guys, my candy is full of game face. I don't know what does that even mean?
I don't know, but your game face could be full of candy.
Yeah. Well, he said his face is full of candy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Arbuckle, the cartoonist, and this is my cat Garfield. Hello, everybody. I'm Garfield, and this is my cartoonist, and this is my cartoonist John. It looked funnier.
Yeah. Okay. Comments like that tend to not work unless
I think
you
I
actually
worded
see
it
pictures,
wrong.
you know?
Well, there was nothing
No,
going on.
I don't think there's anything.
It was
to make
John
that
Arbuckle
fun.
sitting at a desk, and it was Garfield being fat on the desk, and they weren't doing anything. And at the end, John says something like, our only intent is to entertain you. And Garfield goes, feed me. That was the first episode.
Ever. That just must have been like written down on a napkin.
Did Garfield ever do anything else besides be fat?
No.
I didn't think so.
He was pretty enthusiastic about his teddy bear, Freaky.
Spooky.
I'm pretty enthusiastic about how much he hated Normal and wanted to mail her to Abu Dhabi.
I remember that one. Pushing stuff off tables.
Normal, the cutest kitten in the world. And Garfield always talked about how she was sickeningly cute or whatever.
There needs to be like a thrash band called Narfield. Like GNAR.
Yeah.
Like the Chronicles of Narnia. That's a real band.
Really?
It was Andrew's idea, but then someone already used it. So he was like, oh, I'm disappointed.
Tell them about your banjo idea.
Oh yeah, there needs to be a band that does bluegrass covers of like 80s rock ballads, and they'd be called Banjovi.
There is, and they're called Iron Horse.
But they're not called Banjovi.
Their name isn't cool, like banjo.
Iron Horse is hardcore. It's just not cool. It's just not Banjovi.
Andrew thought that was like the best idea ever.
This is like an episode of Change places.
Okay, so what are we drinking tonight? You should pass out the beer. Pass out the beer.
I think we're drinking Canadian.
Oh, we've drank Canadian.
We're drinking Canada.
We're drinking Canada.
We've had Canada before. I think that was.
We had Mexico once too.
Pop?
It's Molson, by the way. It's Molson Bière Lager. Man, that sounds pretentious. Bière. Only the French language.
So French.
Yeah, only the French language could make beer sound pretentious, which it is. But
You know
Go
what?
The French language is pretentious. French people are pretentious.
French people are just French. It's actually their language is actually pretty awesome. Anyway.
Okay, here
Pop
we go.
top.
Vive la France!
Wet sensation
Have
in
you
the
guys-
back of your throat there.
Have you guys heard of those bars where they
No.
they fill the
What?
glasses up from the bottom up? You put your glass down on a table and they have like little one-way valves in them.
Oh, like a little check valve. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And it
That's pretty
fills it up.
sweet.
Could potentially be very unhygienic, though. I mean, like, because
It's very
they'd eventually
science,
melt.
though.
It's very science.
It was very fun.
It's like 5,000 science.
Alex, you want to tell the folks how about we reinvented something?
We've been
with
going
the
on about that
invention
for
of
3
one
weeks.
scientific law.
Have we been over this before? That
Yeah,
the
I'm
new
pretty sure we have. I
science,
think we went over this last week.
the new science, the first law of science is it is what it is because it does stuff.
First.
It's the only law.
Yeah, it's the only law of new science. It is what it is because it does. And that's so much simpler than your old science. Yeah, the internet should be just. The whole world should just be like, fuck old science. We like new science better because it's a lot easier.
It's like soft science.
No, fuck that. It's hard science. It's an old science. It's
This
hard to
is
keep
hard
up.
science.
Old science that is hard to keep up with. That's soft science. It's pussy science.
We're gonna see Bill Nye
new
on the
science
street
just beat the
someday, like
shit out of
drinking
him.
Molson and like.
He'd be like, this Molson is
They drove
science.
me out of their jobs. My wife left me for custody of the kids.
We should post a picture of that thing on the website, the thing with which I created new science.
Yes, the thing with which new science was
And all
created.
it does is buzzes and makes little goosebumps. I told that to one of my art school friends, and he was like, is that all it does? And I was like, gee, thanks, you douche. And then he asked me which architects I knew, and I was like, 2?
You know 2 architects? Okay.
Who my favorite architect was, and I was like, I know of like 2 of them in history. I am the gatekeeper.
Yeah, when that same guy asked me who my favorite architect was, I was like, I don't know. The guy that built...
Hey, apply new science. The guy who built stuff.
The guy that built the ballpark in Arlington, that's what I told him. I was like, I don't even know his name, but him. Because he built the ballpark in Arlington.
Is that the one with the largest screen in the world?
No, that's the Cowboys new stadium. The name of it, I forget. Jerry World. It's Jerry World.
Bridgemont Stadium, home of the Robbie.
Speaking of Robbie, the Nerd released his new 100th episode.
Yes,
Where
it's
the
highly entertaining.
robots-
You should go watch
robots-
it.
Rob the Robot.
Starting with Rob.
That thing was insidious.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
That was one of his better ones in a long fucking time.
I don't know. I usually don't like when the nerd does a bunch of cinematics. I mean, like, I like his movies outside of, the Nerdiverse. I
I don't
saw
know.
The Dead or the Better.
So are you
It's
gonna
pretty
like
good.
his Nerdiverse movie?
I really like it when
give it a
he
shot.
does cinematics like
He's
that.
a good filmmaker.
You know what?
When he puts his
Found
own
that.
creativity into it. Like there's this one episode where he's trying to beat Ninja Gaiden.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
that
went
was a
to
good
seek
one.
out a ninja.
Sometimes
who's
it
like,
works. Sometimes it just doesn't
and the
work.
ninja's just sitting up there on a mountain, right?
Nunchuck fuck.
Or whatever the cliche is.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden. I have not heard.
This must be strong.
I have not heard that name for a long time. They usually say Gaiden. They crack me up.
I think Gaiden is actually incorrect.
Yeah, it's Gaiden. Because AI always sounds like I in Japanese.
Japanese.
I was on some random forum. I think it was like some kind of streaming thing, and like somebody started saying like Nipponese instead of Japanese, and someone's like Nipponese, and I was like, and the guy clarified. He said, "Oh, that means Japanese," and I couldn't think of anything else to say other than Nippon. But it looked like I said nip, which is a racial slur, and some guy named like Watashi Wasabi or something like that replied, "No, that's just offensive." And I was like, "Oh, geez, I didn't mean that to be a racial slur. Sorry." And he's like, some guy's like, "Yeah, it's just a play on words." And he's like, "No, that's okay. Just don't let it happen again." I was like, okay,
Moving on.
moving on.
So-
Hey, Alex, do you like candy?
I want candy.
Do you want this piece of candy at Every Glow?
Ew!
No, seriously.
That's an ugly piece of candy.
It is, yeah. No,
It's like a cancer shark.
You feel that?
I don't want this,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
but I'll eat it anyway.
You should give it to Biscuit.
That's not cancer.
You're gonna
Biscuit.
give. Dude, they didn't have the brownies out when we went there.
The sleepy brownies?
Yeah, did you eat your brownie, Alex?
I did not.
You should eat your brownie.
Yeah, they're called lazy cakes. They're brownies with melatonin in them.
They work. They calm you down.
For
And make
$4,
you say
they
dude repeatedly.
for
Can I see the warning
I just
label
choked on
the
your
bottom?
cancer, dude.
I was expecting you to. Here, let me
For
see
$4 a brownie, they better work.
It's $4?
I think so.
Damn. Okay, I just wanted to say something right quick. It's, this week was Daily Destin's last week at Screw Attack. And he's been there ever since I started going to Screw Attack. So it's just not going to be the same without him being there. And that kind of sucks.
Where's
Will
he?
eventually get posted on Screw Attack whenever the fuck I get caught up, which I am up to episode 38 now, so it shouldn't be too long in theory, but gotta miss you, Destin.
And where's he going?
California.
California.
He's like amazed.
How long
D-pad
do
is
these things
completely perplexed
been
by
around?
my
A lazy cake.
my
yeah.
lazy cake.
Check out
Move
this
the
reader,
mouse,
this
would you?
label, this warning
Would you?
label on the
What?
bottom.
Please, the mouse.
Oh
This
yes.
product is not designed to treat, to diagnose, cure, or prevent any illness. Lazy cakes are recommended, this is in bold, for adults only. If you are taking prescription medication, pregnant, or nursing, consult your healthcare provider before using this product. Do not drive or operate heavy machinery after consuming this product. Do not mix
Wow,
with
you really-
alcohol. This thing is
Do not mix
serious.
with alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, you know what my dad always said when he says don't mix it with alcohol? That's a recipe.
I'd always say, well, I didn't mix it. I drank the beer first.
So,
I drank the beer separately.
you're gonna eat your brownie while we're doing the podcast?
I'm actually gonna eat it when I'm ready for bed because melatonin's supposed to be like a good night's. It's not like a knock you out like sedative. It's like a good night's sleep supplement.
Like chamomile tea.
More sciencey than that because chamomile tea doesn't do stuff.
And this does stuff, so it is therefore
Well,
sciencey.
it does stuff in making you not do stuff, i.e. sleep.
So it inhibits your
You
science.
guys wanna-
It's a science inhibitor.
Yeah, with its own science.
Anti-science.
Anti-science.
It
Did we tell you that we wanted to start our alternate
it makes you not do
meme on the
science.
internet
So.
to the science meme? Started an alternate meme to that.
Religion.
With just a bunch of pastors and stuff striking dramatic poses, and it'll just say religion. Pretty fucking awesome.
Start doing it.
Al Sharpton, Church and State.
You guys want to get to the topics?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do that before I embarrass myself anymore.
It's a little too late for that. We're 40 episodes in, man. Time, man. That was a
came
good
out
time,
my
man.
nose.
Beer came out your nose.
No ice cream. What the heck are you talking about?
Your mom, but not
Ah.
D-Pad's mom, because I don't know.
Don't we have a show to do?
Yes, we do. I was about to get to the topics, and we all started laughing hysterically.
Look at your laugh there. Your laugh is so sharp.
Hey, look, my laugh on the Audacity screen looks like a cone.
Okay,
Like
so
spike
shall
strips.
we get to it? Do it. Do it.
Ooh.
Okay. Sony Screen Gems, the company that put out the Resident Evil movies, has acquired the rights to Devil May Cry. Kyle Ward, who
Can I just ask
is
you one thing
writing-
before you finish that?
What?
How do you keep from laughing?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. He's just laughing while you're reading, and I'm laughing at the fact that he's reading.
I'm
He's
laughing. I'm laughing because I tried to read it earlier.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
you
couldn't read
just
his
tried to
writing,
read
so
that.
I just read what I thought it said, and it didn't make sense.
Okay, so anyway, Kyle Ward will be writing the script for this movie. He is also writing the script for Kane and Lynch, which tells me that this movie will suck because apparently he doesn't know that Lynch is white. Which means he probably doesn't pay attention to the games, which means he's going to have no clue what Devil May Cry is actually about. So Dante's going to be Mexican.
Okay, so I got
There's something wrong with that.
First of all, was Lynch? Was he the assassin or was he the crazy man?
He's the crazy guy with the
So
skeleton.
they're making a crazy man black.
Yeah,
That's actually
Well, that's-
kind
they took
of.
a middle-aged.
I-
That's actually kind of bigoted.
That is, yeah. yeah.
They
Well, I
took
mean-
a middle-aged white guy who is balding and has a skullet and turned him into Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't see that at all. I don't know. He better be one hell of an actor. You know.
I'm not dissing on Jamie Foxx. He's a good actor, but he's
I just don't know if he
Lynch.
fits the role. Yeah, of a deranged, psycho killer.
You know who could do it? Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, I can
Billy
see
Bob
that.
Thornton could do it.
Oh, Michael.
And they picked someone good for Lynch or for Kane. They got Bruce Willis. That works.
Bruce Willis is gonna be Kane.
Yeah, that
I
works.
could actually see it the other way around. If there's one black person I could imagine, geez, it's even worse.
What were you gonna
Because
say?
if there's one black person I could imagine playing Kane, it would probably be Wesley Snipes. But then I realized the irony in that. Wait, is he out of jail yet?
Wesley Snipes?
Yeah.
Didn't know. What did he go to jail for?
Tax evasion. He was in jail around here. He was in jail over by the mall.
Holy shit.
I know,
did
right?
not know that.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania State
So he's probably
SCI.
got like fans coming to visit him while he's like
That would be
in
annoying.
jail.
That'd be really
And he's
annoying.
like, why did y'all have to let the world know that I'm in jail here?
A visitor is here to see you. No more.
Well, at least it's
No
in,
more crazed fans.
at least it's
Your
in
mother.
central Pennsylvania, where like he's not going to be mobbed with like crazy people. It's just mostly like nerds and rednecks. I mean,
Okay,
what else is there
the
in
second part of that
Pennsylvania?
question?
Ghettos.
Oh,
There's Harrisburg, which is a ghetto on one side of us, and a whole bunch of rednecks on the other side of it. That's how I describe the area that
Yeah.
I live in to my friend back in Texas.
Isn't that funny? A lot of people don't think that there are rednecks in Pennsylvania. There are.
Oh yeah, there are.
Oh yeah, there
I've
are.
seen it. I've seen it.
Who said
I'm
there were
talking-
rednecks?
I'm
in
talking
Pennsylvania?
Who's friend?
truck in the front lawn on cinder block redneck. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That is redneck. So yeah, Devil May Cry movie. How much is it gonna suck?
Yeah, I don't actually know if Devil May Cry really excelled in the storyline of their games. I mean, it's mostly testosterone, jumping, guns, and swords, which is everything you need in a
There's
video
more
game. but
storyline to
It's got
3 and 4. The storyline isn't wonderful, but there's a lot more storyline.
I've played through
Games.
3 a couple times. I mean,
Swords and physics that border on aerial combat. Again, Wesley Snipes.
No, we
Come on.
topic.
Same actor, different movie. Come on. He would, if they made,
Yeah.
he
No.
could pull it off. Come on.
No, we already
please.
decided he's
No,
gonna
that's
be
a
Mexican.
completely no.
It'll be
no,
Danny
no.
Trejo.
Do you know-
Good.
Do you know how many
It'll be
angry
Danny Trejo.
fangirls?
It'd be horrible.
I know. I
Let's
like
do
Danny
it.
Trejo,
Let's do it.
but the movie's gonna be horrible. I know that because
Dante, don't text.
you could probably count on like one hand how many genuinely very good video game movies there are. You know, that's pretty much how I know it's gonna suck. And then it's scripted by a guy who thinks Lynch is black. That's also how I know it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I could see it being Steve Buscemi, but then it would pretty much exactly be Fargo. Almost exactly.
Yeah, except Steve Buscemi was the more.
Steve Buscemi can play a crazy man.
He
Yes,
can play a crazy man, but in Fargo, he was the more reasonable one who got killed.
He's the one who chopped his partner.
He has-
Oh no, wait, he got chopped up with a wood chipper.
Steve Buscemi could totally pull off a. I'd say a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
what
things
about in
him, but
what was that one movie where he was like a Jeffrey Dahmer fella? He was in prison. Con Air.
oh, I never saw that.
Con Air was fucking badass. Not a good movie, not by a long shot, but it was badass
You don't
and
think
fun
it
to
was-
watch. Nicolas Cage beating the shit out of bad guys.
Nicolas Cage as Fu Manchu. Yeah.
That was
Werewolf Woman of the SS.
yes, Werewolf Women of the SS was the name of it. It was did you go see
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse in theaters?
No.
Because they had like fake previews for movies.
And Nicolas Cage was actually in it.
Yeah, it was a Rob Zombie fake movie or whatever called Werewolf Women of the SS.
Oh, okay.
And Nicolas Cage played a guy named Fu Manchu.
You have to see this preview. It's hysterical.
Fucking great.
Did they ever actually release the actual showing of that movie on DVD?
You mean Grindhouse altogether?
Yeah, like both
I think
movies
so.
together, the fake previews.
I think they did.
Like,
I think so.
Why wouldn't they do that? I remember they came out with not even like they came out with the special edition box set, and it was just both DVDs, as 2 separate DVDs. Like they didn't have any.
Well, you would probably have to flip the disc anyways, unless you're on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could do it on Blu-ray. But one of the more talked about previews from that was did you see the one for the Thanksgiving movie from Eli Roth? Yeah, he was gonna do a horror movie centered around Thanksgiving. He did a preview for it and that.
I forgot about that one.
Thanksgiving. They kept saying like that. Thanksgiving.
Machete kills again. They better make that movie.
Yeah, they better make Machete kill.
Please, Pastor, have mercy.
They'll do it, and then they won't call it that.
So yeah,
Cheech Marin.
Danny Trejo is totally gonna be Dante, and it will suck.
Wait, who?
No.
Danny Trejo, Machete.
Oh, no, it's the person who plays Dante has to be like a pretty boy with a non-existent hair.
No, because they're gonna screw it up.
Yeah,
So you know they're gonna.
That's the point. Is they are going to screw it up.
Vin Diesel.
They'll get Vin Diesel for Dante.
Realistically, though, who would make a good Dante? Wesley Snipes?
He's suggesting that.
Jason Statham, yeah.
I don't know.
Jason Statham is Dante.
Dang. Who would make a good... I'm trying to think of... It's been so long since I've played any Devil May Cry.
Nobody in our
remember what he
generation.
looks like.
It wouldn't have been any of the actors that we're used to. It would be someone from
They
the
probably like pick
Underworld
someone from, like,
movies.
Twilight or some shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, who would make a good... Not who will they pick, but who would be good.
They'll just get like Quentin Tarantino to star in the main role. Quentin Tarantino is Dante in Devil May Cry.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen? You're just coming up with random actors
Yeah.
that you know of?
From Home Improvement.
Samuel L. Jackson
Come on.
is Dante.
See, that's almost believable.
I could see him screwing it up that bad, and I'd probably go see it anyway because it's Samuel
Oh, hell
L.
yeah,
Jackson,
I'd
and
see it.
He's fucking awesome.
Bill Clinton. I don't know what to...
They're gonna resurrect Ronald Reagan, and he'll play Dante.
Ronald Reagan would be whoever the bad guy is. Scorn. That's Gauntlet, but whatever. just stick his face on the CGI.
Right, the rest.
The CGI and Ronald Reagan's
molten
face.
lava. Political humor.
Bruce Campbell.
Well, Bruce Campbell would... No.
What, is the bad guy or is
No, the good guy.
As Dante?
As Dante.
Uh...
No, wait, what was the name of the chick in the first Devil May Cry?
Speechless.
I don't remember.
Trinity.
Was it Trinity?
Yeah. Tracy?
Didn't it start with a TR?
It seems like it did.
Gretchen?
I don't remember her name. Wonder who could play her.
Oh, I don't know, like Jennifer.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
As Dante, though. And then
Steve Buscemi is the chick.
no, just do like an all Eddie
How could
Murphy.
you move
Do
that?
like an all Eddie Murphy cast, like the clumps. Except it's Devil May Cry.
It'd be like the
It's
Nutty
like
Professor.
Eddie Murphy
like
and Dante's
they're all
father,
like
the
sitting
demon
down
lord.
together and stuff, and like having arguments.
Versus Ronald Reagan.
Hercules, Hercules.
Oh,
Maybe we should move
and
on.
Red Brown.
Red Brown.
Red Brown in there. Space mutant.
Oh gosh. Poor my dad's enforcer for the weekend.
Rip Brown played Dave Ryder in that movie. Or Buff Drinkwise. That's who he played in that movie.
Fridge, large meat. Slab, bulkhead.
We are having way too much fun
No,
with
we're
this
not.
topic.
Maybe we should move on before we all aneurysm. And this is our last will and testament.
These guys are making the dumbest suggestions ever for playing Dante in a Devil May Cry movie, and they aneurysmed and died.
That'd be a fine obituary.
Vivica Fox is Dante.
You know, sadly, that's the most accurate suggestion.
A black woman is Dante.
A female as Dante.
Andre the Giant.
We're gonna resurrect Andre the Giant.
Yeah, is he alive?
No,
No,
he
he's
died
dead.
like 5 years ago? More than
How
that?
long ago it was?
That's a shame. I wonder how old he lived.
And then I wonder, like, Hulk Hogan is the good guy, the Warrior is the bad guy.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan's been in some movies. None of them are good.
Just trying to imagine like Hulk Hogan just doing acrobatics with a sword.
Alex,
Yes.
Santa with muscles.
Yeah. Good stuff. So bad.
Should we move on to the next topic now?
Sure.
How much time did we just eat off?
We're almost at a half an hour.
Oh, this has been fun. We're one topic in. And we spent a good long time on that one topic.
If we lose this episode, if your computer crashes, I'm going to kill myself.
We should save it right now.
Yeah, well, it is almost half an hour. You want to take an intermission?
Yeah, I think I do need another orange slice.
Okay.
I need to go drink this off for a couple of minutes. We will be right back after these short messages. Movies that rhyme with Beverly Hills Cop, Bus Stop, Barbershop, Operation Dumbo Drop. Oh man.
That's our first topic and us laughing in the background.
We were recording like 3 different tracks overlapping here on Audacity, and you just hear us like yelling at like another version of us. This is weird.
Okay. Yu Suzuki.
Oh, hang on. I can mute this. There we go. Okay. All better.
Okay.
The voices in my head have been silenced.
Okay. Yu Suzuki, the creator of Shenmue, still wants to make Shenmue 3. He says he will if Sega will let him. So there's still hope that Shenmue 3 will actually get made. I haven't played Shenmue 2, unfortunately. I do own it. I just don't own the system I can play it on because I don't own an Xbox or an Xbox 360 anymore because it was stolen.
Yeah.
And it's pretty lame. And I own Shenmue 1 though, and it's a very, very, very good game. And I know a whole lot of people are harping for Shenmue 3 to happen, and have been for the last 7 years. So this is probably pretty good news, and I hope that it does happen because I'd like to see him complete. It was originally supposed to be a trilogy of games, and I'd like to see him complete that. Have either of you played Shenmue?
I have seen a good deal of it. Never played it.
I've never even heard of Shenmue.
I think when Shenmue first came out, it was a Sega. It was just on Dreamcast.
Yes,
wasn't
Dreamcast.
it? Okay.
And it was a 3-disc game, so it was massive. And it was one of the earlier examples of an open world game, and it was very story driven. So at the time, it was pretty freaking unique. There was nothing else out there like it. Yes, it had some problems that you had to deal with here and there, but the story and the characters were good enough, and the world was interesting enough that you just didn't care. And there was all kinds of cool little quirks that you could do in there, like you could just walk up to the machine and put your money in the soda machine and you drink the soda. And there was no other games that did that at the times. And you could go and you know how they get the little capsule things with the stickers?
Was there a town scene in one of the Shenmue games where there's a Jamaican guy and he sells homemade pickles?
Yes, there's a Jamaican guy.
I thought
in one of the
so.
Shenmue
Okay.
games.
I remember playing that.
You walk up to him, he's like, "Yeah, man!"
Homemade
Stereotypical
pickles, huh?
Jamaicans. Yeah.
That's
But-
a stereotype? That's a
No, it's just he was he was like,
Well, he was stereotypical, but
Yeah,
it
he
was
was
kind of cool to
stereotypical.
have diversity.
yeah,
in
yeah.
character types.
It was pretty cool. No, but did you know if you get a jar of pickles and you eat all the pickles, you can save the brine and cut up fresh cucumbers and put them in there and make more pickles.
I wasn't quite done talking about Shenmue, but okay.
No, let's talk about pickles. I think
Yeah.
it's a
Can I finish
important
my
issue.
thoughts on Shenmue before we do that?
Well, after we finish our thoughts on pickles,
We can call it the brine
Fine.
cast.
Hurry the fuck up with your pickles.
do you like the sweet pickles or do you like the
Dill.
dill? Yeah. I stopped eating sweet pickles when I was 3.
Yeah, they taste kind of weird.
I've never been a fan of pickles at all, really.
You know, one thing I never liked though is Japanese pickles. They got ginger in them. They taste like they're like candied pickles. Like those fruits that you get to put on. Yeah, we have skull. I found
Why
it.
is it so
on the
flat?
street. I think a car hit it.
We found it and then picked it up and I put it in this
This
pocket.
little plastic
and
skull.
it stayed there for the rest of the day. It was awesome.
I have not finished my topic about pickles.
I didn't finish my talk about Shenmue, so
We
your
should
mom.
probably get to that because I'm not even sure what timestamp we're running into because we started over. So yeah, let's get on with the show.
Yeah, okay. You could do other little things like you could stop and grab yourself a bite to eat. You could,
Pickles?
you know those machines where you put your quarter in and you twist the knob and something drops out and it's always in a little capsule thing.
Homies.
Yeah, you get homies and those things.
Yeah.
You could collect little figurines and it was all Sonic. It was all Sega characters like Sonic
Cool.
and stuff.
Sonic and Knights and Homies.
I
was there
Homies
never-
wasn't in it.
Was there ever a Homies video game?
God, I hope not.
Why
Are you
wasn't there?
serious? That would be awesome. You get to pick your
Freaking awesome.
character at the beginning, whether you want to be the DJ or the fat bouncer, and then each one has his own superpowers.
It would be like Bebe's Kids where they don't really walk, they just kind of swing through air.
They jive.
They jive so hardcore in that game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I could eat my way through a wall faster than I
Nostalgic
could
critic.
kill these bozos.
And there's a
That
time limit!
I hope that this does happen. I would love to see Sega give him the go-ahead because I'd
We're
love to
talking
see
about
that.
the homies game.
No.
Okay, Shenmue.
I would love to see Sega give him the go-ahead to do Shenmue 3 because I really like Shenmue 1. I want to play Shenmue 2 whenever I get a 360 again, which I have no idea when that will be. It will be a while, unfortunately. It's the only reason I haven't played Mass Effect 2 yet, because I don't own a 360.
And stuff. I haven't even cracked open my lazy cake yet.
No, you haven't. But apparently you're not supposed to drive yet with that.
And you've been mixing alcohol.
You've been drinking, sir? A little, but it's mostly this brownie.
I drank and did a brownie. You know what I told him I wanted to do? I wanted to go there and get one of those lazy cakes and an energy drink and see which one wins.
You want a speedball?
Yeah, I want a
It's like a
speedball with lazy cake and
It's a mini mart speedball.
I want a speedball with a lazy cake and a monster.
Dude, I think your heart would start to like palpitate.
Hey, you want to know this is a topic you'll be interested in.
I already know what it's gonna be.
Infamous 2 will have user-created content by way of a mission creation mode.
That's weird, actually. I mean, what's the way you can make your own missions?
Yes, you can make your own missions, and the better missions, the missions that are higher rated by the fans of Infamous 2, the people that play them, will actually get featured by Sucker Punch, the game,
Right.
the company that creates the game.
I also think it's weird how the movie Sucker Punch is coming out.
That movie looks sweet.
It looks.
What's Sucker
You can
Punch
also
like again?
upload and shit. They created Slime.
No, I mean the movie.
Oh, the
about
movie's
hot
gonna
chicks.
have like
Oh, yeah.
3 hot
Oh,
chicks
yeah.
that go into a different dimension with like sword wielding dragons and
Oh,
robotic
yeah, I
samurais
remember
and
that.
like shurikens that explode when
You
you
know what I
go.
discovered the other day?
Yeah.
There's a book called The Dragon with the Girl Tattoo. I don't know what it's about. I just know there is.
Oh, I think
No.
isn't it self-explanatory?
Anyway, you can upload and share missions with the internet, which this sounds really cool. This sounds like it could be something to really extend the life of the game, and I really like the first Infamous, and I wouldn't mind getting more of it beyond just story missions and stuff, you know, with Infamous 2. And I'm sure Sucker Punch will throw in a lot of stuff with that, but I want to...
There's a good deal of optional missions in the first one. I just never did them because they're all like copies of the same thing. Like, you know, like
Yeah, this probably won't be
defeat these monsters. You know, defeat these enemies, or escort them to the jail, or you know, race from this building to that building as fast as you can. Like, is that all it's gonna be? People
No.
making their own missions, like.
They were talking about all the different... They said, if you can imagine it, you should be able to do it with this mission creator. If you want to create a mission where Zeke tells... They actually said this, like, I think it was Zeke tells racial jokes until you want to shoot him. You can. If you want to create missions that are totally centered around stealth and create a whole game that way, you can. And they're talking about things like this, so I'm like, this sounds really, really cool, and I want to see what the community can create, because there were some very, very good... I don't know if you ever played Little Big Planet, but you would love it if you haven't played it.
I have it.
Fucking awesome, isn't it? But you get online, and there's some very, very, very good levels that people have created on there. Some very creative things, and beyond just the amazing things that Media Molecule did with the game, and if it's going to be similar people creating missions for this game, they'll come up with all kinds of cool and crazy stuff to do after you finish the game, you know?
I just like to go online and watch people who have invented things on the, you know, using the Little Big Planet physics.
Did you know someone created a working copy of Windows XP with Little Big Planet?
How do you pull that off?
I don't know, but that's
Jeez.
amazing, isn't it? Little Big Planet 2. They did it with
Oh.
Little Big Planet 2.
Wait,
Yeah.
Windows XP?
Yeah, and someone else
Like that?
recreated all of the very first Zelda game.
Yeah, I
Little Big
saw
Planet
that.
2.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
fucking
That's cool.
awesome, wasn't
Now,
it?
see, that's so interesting, but that begs the question: who would take the time to go and play that? I mean, like it's awesome in concept,
Doesn't
but
matter.
it's just there.
Doesn't matter. No, the one that I saw, it starts with the first dungeon, and it goes through the first dungeon. Even like that, blowing apart walls with bombs and stuff.
Oh,
So theoretically,
fucking
you
awesome.
could.
I get
create
signal.
the
I gotta
first
take this
game,
call.
But yeah, I want to see what kind of cool stuff they'll do with the user-created content in this. It'll be a lot of fun, I think. Because I really like what they did with the user-created content in Little Big Planet, and I imagine they did something similar with Mod Nation Racers. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Never heard of it. It's a racing game
Yeah,
where you create your own.
it is to kart racing games what Little Big Planet is to platformers.
So it's what, like intuitive and
And you can create your own tracks and
so like a
highly
excite bike.
customizable, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool, but I don't personally own the game. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be probably the only racer, kart racer out there that isn't pretty much just a straight up
Mario Kart.
version of Mario Kart, because it actually brings something new to the table with all its creation aspects.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it did pretty well for Sony. I think this has potential to do pretty well too. I'm looking forward to it. Want to talk about the 3DS?
I thought we already made fun of it enough.
Well, okay. Netflix is coming to the 3DS
Oh,
with
so
3D
we can watch
movies.
3D movies.
Oh, and,
handheld.
Yeah, on
handheld
handheld.
3D movies.
3.5-inch
Is this a joke?
eye Stranovision.
Yeah. It's also getting Game Boy Color, Game Gear, and TurboGrafx 16 games
That's cool.
via download. And yes, that is cool. Although I don't understand. They didn't announce Game Boy Advance games. That one I don't get.
That's a shame.
But Game Boy Color, Game Gear, and TurboGrafx, that's cool. I like that.
TurboGrafx was a pretty sweet system.
But
Game Gear was pretty much just games for the
you know what I
Sega.
could picture?
Game
happening
Gear
is-
was actually a repackaged Master System. That's
Oh.
why everything that came out for Game Gear then got repackaged for Master System, because they were exactly the same except for the size of the cartridge.
Oh, you mean the other way around? Things that came out from Master System.
Not every. I don't think everything that came out for Master System came out for Game Gear, but you can find Sonic games for the Master System, even though the Master System came out in the 80s, because they came out for Game Gear first, and then they're like, oh well, some people only have Master Systems, so yeah.
Because I remember then they came out with the Sega Nomad, which was just a portable Sega.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
whole cartridge in there. I don't see why they didn't make one for Nintendo.
The
Super
cartridges are
Nintendo.
too big, I guess.
Well,
cartridges were big
actually,
for
there
Sega,
are a
too.
lot of aftermarket things like that you can buy that people modded up themselves.
You mean like what? You mean like people built them? Or-
Yeah, I've seen handheld versions of the Genesis. I've seen a handheld version of the Super Nintendo and the regular Nintendo.
I like the. I forget what I was gonna say there.
Atari 2600.
Yeah, I like the standalone Sega CDs. Those things are cool. I want a standalone 32X though. Why won't they go back and remake the Neptune? The thing that never came out.
Yeah, wasn't it gonna have CD and the 32X, so you could do 32X CD games on it or whatever?
I don't think it was originally meant to, but
That'd be cool.
yeah.
This is actually one of the very few pieces of news about it that I've actually kind of gotten excited about for the 3DS, because I mean, 4 systems, all of them had great games for it, so that's cool that they're bringing it all back and you can take it on the road with you and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I could picture this, though. Okay, Lord of the Rings gets put in 3D, right? And you
Yeah.
boot it up on your 3DS, and the 3DS battery dies before you get done watching it.
Wah, wah, wah.
Because the battery life on that thing is 3 to 5 hours. So that's a real possibility. That'd be funny, though. Be like, haha, Nintendo fail.
Remember when the original Game Boy had an AC adapter, but it wasn't even for a charger? It was just so you could play it while it was without draining the batteries, but it didn't actually charge it. It's just so you could hardwire the sucker into the wall.
And I would usually do that, just, because I ate through batteries back in my Game Boy days. Batteries was like where 90% of my money went. That was like a nightmare, being right in the middle of the game, and it's just like, no, it's gonna die soon, but
Yeah, I was never a big portable gamer, so you would have experienced that more than I did.
I only ever did it in my room anyway. You never play Game Boy games while you're walking or while you're in the car.
I played it a lot. I played Game Boy a lot when I was in the car.
I played in the
Doesn't
car.
that give you a headache? I can't read or anything.
While driving.
While driving?
Yeah,
I
that
can do
sounds
that.
safe.
Just duct tape it and, hope the airbag doesn't go off.
Right, like
Duct
right where
tape
the
it to the-
GPS suction cups do.
No, right on the steering wheel.
Yes. How soon do we need to go get Paul?
I was just gonna go get him in a bit here. You guys can stick around. Maybe watch a little Linkara.
We've got one topic left.
Let's
So we
do
can bang
it.
out one topic and then go get Paul all together.
Yeah, we can go bang that out.
And we'll go Blago.
Blago.
Yeah, let's go get
That was
Paul
like a
trapped in
3-part
big black-
barbershop harmony of Blago.
And that-
Wait, let's try it at different pitches.
Blago.
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 You got it.
Not
I
a
remember you watched the Cyanide and Happiness shorts
yeah.
with the barbershop quartet hitting on the woman. Nice tits! Nice tits!
That's awesome.
And then they hit the tree. It's fucking awesome.
This chair is even more comfortable than the last. Wait, it's not the chairs that are comfortable. It's me!
Is that the man who could sit on everything?
Sit on anything.
Yeah.
He starts going crazy and just
You know what
kicking
a
over
couple
all
of
the
my
chairs.
favorites were?
I never need another chair in my life.
A couple of my favorites were from that were The Sign and The Sign Part 2.
Sign.
Where they beat that woman down because they beat the shit out of that one woman because she read the sign that says "Don't read this sign." And then they were like police officers and they were beating her. And then
That's
they were
awesome.
gonna wail on this little baby. And the guy's like, "No, dude, it's a baby." And it just pans out and there's a sign right beside it that says "No babies." He goes, "Oh." And they start wailing on the baby
On
with
the
their
baby?
batons.
I like their one.
They ran it over with their police car. It's fucking awesome.
Wow, that's pretty morbid.
Yeah.
I like their one comic strip where the guy shows up with a big grin on his face. Hey, what's up with him? Oh, he has lockjaw. Lockjaw looks fun as heck.
Did I show you the dick knob thing?
That was funny.
I totally dick knobbed you.
There's one Cyanide and Happiness where it's like, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. This is the Christmas episode, by the way. And the next frame is, which is awfully strange for a tumor.
What?
Okay, last topic. Last week there was a big to-do over a website called findmakarov.com, and a lot of people thought that it was going to leave. It had a countdown timer on it. A lot of people thought it was going to count down to the announcement of
The end of the world.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Oh yeah, that thing.
And they were all wrong. Instead, it was the countdown to the announcement of a Modern Warfare fan film. And the timer got down, and it showed a trailer. It released a teaser for it, and all the teaser was
Hang on. What's up?
so
I was gonna get him. We're almost done with the show.
we're almost done.
That's cool. Oh yeah, we got him.
Yeah, we got him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's talking. Anyway.
Anyway, it showed a teaser trailer for it that was just a bunch of remakes and iconic scenes from the Modern Warfare games, all shown from first person. And it didn't really show like any actual movie footage. I get the feeling that it didn't really show any actual movie footage unless they're just going to remake the storyline from the games. And it looked cool. There's really not much storyline to remake in those games, so I gotta wonder how this is gonna wind up. I mean, it looked like they actually had a fair budget because it was very, very good looking what they recorded and shot. So maybe
Queen Latifah as Fu Manchu.
Say what? You did what?
Queen Latifah as Virgil.
Say what? You did what? You
Is she a lesbian?
in the hell?
She seems like one.
She's a lesbian. I think she is a lesbian.
demons out of the house and go back in.
Would you quit tugging on my cable?
Are you trying to brimstone the whole neighborhood?
Quit tugging on my cable.
That's not her at all. It's like, I don't know.
I have no idea what we're imitating.
That's
but
Eddie Murphy
is.
as Big Mama as Virgil. Oh my gosh.
I thought Big Mama was Martin Lawrence.
Say different. No. That was. Can't edit that out.
I don't know. But fan films usually wind up being a lot more true to the source material. I mean, there's a very, very cool fan film of Metal Gear Solid that I saw that was a lot of fun to watch. There was a 30-minute short called White Land at the Edge of the World about him chasing down a sniper out in the snow out in Alaska, and then Otacon is chasing after him, and they discuss forming philanthropy. It was really,
That
really
sounds
well
really
done.
cool.
It was cool.
Out in the snow.
And you have to excuse the fact that they don't have much of a budget, but beyond that, it's cool. And then they did a full-length film that just looks awesome, and I have never watched all of it, but the trailers were amazing. And the guy that they got to play Snake doesn't sound American, but the entire group, they're all based in like Russia or something, so
Why does Snake have to
forgivable.
be American?
So Tommy Wiseau
so Tommy was
as Dante.
you know, he had two different kinds of cameras stacked on top of each other because he didn't know the difference between them.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. He had like an HD camera on top of something else, and he was shooting the room because he didn't know what the difference was. The guy's an idiot.
That guy's genius.
And then, of course, there's the Mega Man movie, which was fucking
Awesome!
Yes, it was.
They even had the Dr. Wily's floating castle in there. How did they do that?
And then they had the clay thing. The big
Oh, the
clay-
yellow demon.
Fuck that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
That thing
They
knocks
had
Mega
that
Man
too,
out.
and they had the Dark Mega Man. They had everything. It was fucking awesome.
I love Proto Man in that movie.
Yeah.
He was-
Hey, I'm borrowing this outfit. They didn't have Mega Man and Dark Mega Man talking about going to get brunch though.
Yeah, this does have
Mega Man.
this does give me hope because I mean I watched the trailer and it's obvious that this was done by big fans of Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I'm not a huge fan of Modern Warfare 1 and 2. They're decent games, but I thought World at War was better, personally. But this actually looks like it might be kind of a cool and fun little movie to watch. And there were cool story segments in Modern Warfare 1 and 2, don't get me wrong. First time I saw like the first person view of you trying to escape the nuclear bomb blowing up, I was like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah, it's like Indiana Jones, like escaping a nuclear explosion by hiding in a refrigerator.
It could work.
And then he survived to fight a pyramid and be like, "Yo, you're a lake now, pyramid."
Yes, Indiana Jones
That
totally
might be a
fought it.
spoiler, but that's that movie in a nutshell, and I loved
And then
it for it.
basically aliens. It was a fun movie. I don't get why so many people hate it so much.
I didn't hate it.
Why is that movie so much less believable than the
Because aliens.
what is the cup called? The Last Supper cup?
The Holy Grail?
No, the Holy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant is totally not a cup.
No,
my
that's
man.
where the
But the Holy
Ten
Grail was
Commandments
the cup,
story.
and they said if you drink from it, you gain eternal life. You know.
Yeah. They broke it.
And how is that any less believable than aliens? I understand saying the Ark, the Last Supper cup, the Holy Grail was more believable, but the part about the eternal life, how is that any more or less far-fetched than Alien? You know? Yeah, we should wrap this up.
Harrison Ford as... I don't know. Help me out here.
Dante.
It's not as funny. It's still kind of funny,
As
though.
Queen Latifah, as Dante.
Harrison Ford as Queen Latifah as
My
Dante.
brain just logically exploded.
Richard
Arrow,
Pryor
Arrow.
as Demon Lord Sparta.
Yeah.
Vince
That...
we need to wrap it up. Push the wrap it up button. Okay, so
Vince Vaughn.
this has been another.
Let
me-
me Trevor
combine it.
Belmont.
Vince Vaughn as Trevor Belmont.
Actually,
Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker as Richter Belmont.
Oh, freaking John Heater as Alucard.
John Lovitz as Alucard.
Yes, pound it. Yes, we're doing it. We're writing the script tonight. Making some phone calls, calling some people.
We're gonna gel back our hair like jerks,
Getting signed to Victory Records next week. It's gonna happen. Okay.
and then we're gonna go on tour with Kajaja Force Tech.
Our
We're like,
audience-
hi, we're D Yucca.
Our audience doesn't know who Kajaja Force Tech is. Google them.
Don't Google them for the
Google
sake
them.
of your own sanity. Anyway, this has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick, and we gotta go. So say goodbye, D-Pad.
hey guys, I got a request.
Are you playing with my fun tag?
It is pretty fun.
Ugh, that's for posters.
Okay,
Anyway.
so
You're a poser.
You're a poser.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I
I'm a
have a
poser.
request. Can we end this podcast the same way that we started it?
okay, say goodbye, Game Face first.
Peace out. A-Town Dad. And that's a wrap.